everybody that's anybody in the music business perform live from Studio A.
It's Columbus radio at its finest.
They like it. That's where the support comes from.
I love WCBE, and I can't imagine Columbus without it.
Okay, what do we got here? Just a couple. I just played the song you did with Bob Weir because Dark Star Orchestra is coming to town, and you did Friend of the Devil.
Friend of the Devil,
so
yes.
my segue into this, because we did give you tickets for that. So
with the secret verse. There's a secret verse that Bob taught me in that one. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Got so many great stories to tell. We don't have enough time for
I
it
know,
all.
it's true. So many stories, so little time.
Okay. And yeah, it's the full band and everything tonight, right?
It's the full band. It's the full band experience with
So great show.
Okay, I've got my
All right. At least I thought we were ready. Okay, here we go. They tease me.
back from a commercial break.
And with Promo West tonight, Grace Potter will perform over at Kemba Live. And we are so happy to have her back in the studio. It's been too long. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's good to be back. I should take this hat off. Nobody can see it on the air anyways.
Oh, we're filming. Everybody
Great.
should tune in,
That's right. Howdy.
On our Facebook, our Facebook channel and our YouTube channel. You can check it out live there. And, of course, listening online at WCBE. But we'll give some tickets away after each song that she does for us today. And we're going to talk about Mother Road, the latest. It just came out in October on the 18th. Just loving it. We'll talk about all the goodies in this vinyl thing that you got. And we'll give those tickets away and catch up since the last time you were here.
Fabulous.
Let's get rocking with one, and then we'll come back and chat.
I love it. This is a song. I guess I'll just start from the beginning. Let's just start with Mother Road. I think that's a good starting point.
All right. Mother Road by Grace Potter here on CBE.
I checked in at the crossroads. I met some strange folk. They ran a cheap motel. I could hear every whisper through the walls of the rooms. It felt a little like a prison cell. I wrote a song about a dream I had. Then they rang that dinner bell. And they whooped and they hollered when I came in, saying, girl, you're going straight to hell. Down Mother Road, once again I turn to you. 'Cause you know how I feel, mama, you've been run over too. So can I lean on your shoulder just until my feet find the ground? And wherever I'm headed, mama, don't let it be down. Oh, I took a little detour out to the crater where the sky was wild with rage. I drove my car like a rocket taking off down that Sunset straightaway. There's an endlessness in the way I feel when I wrap my hands around that wheel. Only I know just how far I'm gonna go down the Mother Road. I always come back to you, mama. Yeah, you know how I feel, 'cause you've been run over too. So can I lean on your shoulder just until my feet find the ground? Yeah. And wherever I'm headed, mama, don't let it be down. I don't really know if the day will ever come when I find that peace within. But as I roll down this rugged highway, I'm closer than I've ever been. Caught in Oklahoma, driving too fast, I felt my world slow down. And I made my confession to the highway patrol. I said I was lost, but now I'm finally found. She gave me a ticket anyway, but I didn't put up a fight, 'cause I've driven 1,000,000 miles, lived 1,000,000 lives. Now I'm almost headed home tonight down Mother Road. Once again I turn to you. Show me the way, mama, just like you always do. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna find my true north, out west or down south. But I keep on rolling till I figure it out. And wherever I'm headed, mama, don't let it be down. Oh, yeah. Oh, mama, don't let it be down.
Amazing. It is Grace Potter joining us live from Studio A with Mother Road, the title track to the latest album. Tonight's the show over at Kemba Live with Eddie 9-Volt. Don't want to miss the opener. And let's do our first giveaway right now for caller number 4 at 614-821-9223. I love that line, and when I'll find the peace within, which was kind of the meaning behind all of this.
Yeah, I think I've always been a little bit of a gypsy, but it felt weirder in COVID because it was called for in some ways to get out onto the road and continue playing music and sharing what I have to offer with the world, but it was getting harder and harder to find access to people and actually share music in the same capacity. So I didn't realize how much I had needed it until it was gone, and how much peace I had really gotten from performing for people. So
and being on the road for most of
my adult life,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you've been at it now for almost 20 years, right? Professionally, right?
It's so funny. Everybody's always like, I don't want to say 20 years because it makes you sound old. I'm like, I earned every single one of those years, babies.
And look at you.
I was a baby when I started, so I'm not scared of the 20-year mark or the 40-year mark. Or, I was just singing with Mavis Staples the other day, and it changed my life yet again.
Beautiful.
She's going to be 85 this coming spring.
And look how strong she's still going. It's amazing.
I know.
Well, tell us how the road, which is a reference from the Steinbeck novel, Grapes of Wrath.
Exactly.
So tell us, you moved back to your hometown, right, on the farm, and
yes,
where you grew up.
Yes.
In Vermont, and Waitsfield,
Vermont.
Waitsfield, Vermont.
I'm actually from Fayston, but there's no zip code, so technically I have to file my taxes in Waitsfield. Yeah.
All right. So, there was this, going through trials and tribulations of that period. It was a long time, as you mentioned, and didn't realize how much you missed it until it was gone.
Yeah.
So what led you out back west, where you still have a home with your husband?
Yeah, and we are bi-coastal, so we have a home in California and a home in Vermont, which, again, first world problems, but the weirder it gets for me, I think, is that I wasn't ready to go home, even though I wanted to be with my family. And the strangest part was having two homes and really feeling my sense of place and my sense of being dislodged from both places, really, and not knowing where to land, and going through, I think, emotionally and physically some big changes. I really wanted to impart on myself some level of peace that wasn't just the performative, Grace Potter out there writing songs and, and building more on my career. I wanted to build on myself, and I think the road trip was really an indication that my body was kind of ready to flee from both places, not necessarily trying to get back to California or back to Vermont as much as just remember what it felt like to be in motion and in progress at all, you know?
Right. And so how long was that trip? I mean, you took the whole Route 66.
I did. I drove Route 66 back and forth. So I went there and back again twice, which was 4 cross-country, so 4 country crossings over the course of a year and a half as I was writing. And the first 2 trips, I didn't really write any songs. I was mainly kind of talking to myself and trying to remind myself of younger versions of me and free myself of the feeling that I was going nowhere, while also remembering what a wild vagabond I was, even as a little girl, running away from home when I was like 9 years old, you know?
Which brings up how Lady Vagabond resurfaced.
Sure. She was my imaginary friend from childhood, and I think she had lived inside me the whole time, but it seems like a childish thing, kind of like anything you love when you're a kid. You tuck it away into these parts of your mind and say, oh, that was just a younger me making up an imaginary friend. But actually, it was quite an intelligent defense mechanism. When I actually ran away from home as a 9-year-old, I made up this character because I wanted to be able to tell people if they were like, excuse me, young lady, what are you doing walking along the side of the road? I'd say, oh, I'm not alone. I've got my chaperone. Her name's Lady Vagabond. She's right over there stoking a fire. I'm just waiting here for, AAA to come. I had a whole plan.
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. So where did you run to?
Directly next door to my best friend Caitlin Welter's house. Yeah.
And everybody probably knew?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure Valerie, my neighbor's mom, called my mom right away, but they played into it for a while. And I think it invested me in the storyline to a point where I really believed that I was a runaway and that I was making a new life for myself, and I was lighting out on the trail, and here I go. And it got scary very quickly, I think, in the reality of that, you know.
So driving back and forth on the Mother Road, what struck first as the song? Was it the title track that you just played, or was it something different?
No, it was actually the song Masterpiece, which is the last track on Mother Road. And one that is not radio friendly. This is my first ever explicit song, as a matter of fact. But we won't get into too many of the lyrics of it. But really, it was about exploring what it was that I felt so uncomfortable about going back home and driving by my high school every day. I had these weird sort of flashbacks and traumatic memories of not belonging and the sense of isolation and knowing that somewhere in the world there are palm trees and I'm going to go find them, as a 7th grader. And I think that was a really important song, but also not necessarily the song to begin a record with. It felt more like the conclusion to part 1 of a novel, you know.
So I've read that you stayed in some kind of seedy places.
I actually actively pursued the seedier motels.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. That's where the real stories are. I mean, I think even in the song Mother Road, the folks I met who owned these motels and who found themselves attracted to the transient lifestyle that owning a motel comes with, felt like my people. I felt really connected to strangers and weirdos, truckers and waitresses, and the guy who goes and refills the toy machine, the vending machines, and sells the ring pops or the, all these weird little sort of pieces of Americana and sort of the shadow of the American dream that we all are so invested in when we think of the nostalgia of Route 66. And I wanted to explore the underbelly of that. And you can't do that if you're staying at a cushy DoubleTree.
Right, and everyone's got stories to tell, too.
Yeah.
So it's just creating more of your art.
Absolutely.
With that stuff.
Yeah,
Wow.
I do like DoubleTrees, though, by the way. I call it the double cookie. But just, not, on this particular trip and it was more of a research excursion and a full immersion into, the vagabond lifestyle.
What was your favorite part? Or favorite stop along the way? Can you remember?
Oh, Tucumcari really did it for me. That town kind of stuck with me. Every single person I met there was a movie, But Winslow, Arizona, Kingman, Oatman, Arizona is an incredible place. Needles was amazing. There was just so many. Barstow. I didn't know about all these places that are really. They started out as places for a trucker to refuel, but for me, there was refueling going on in my soul. I think in these places where, the more in the middle of nowhere it was, the more I felt like I was arriving somewhere.
Wow. And not scared. Were you driving at night at all?
No, I was everywhere at night and daytime, and I was given a hammer at one point by a stranger who was like, "You need a weapon. If you don't have a
that's
taser or
kind.
pepper spray or
Yeah.
anything," I was like, "No, I don't." But they provided me with a hammer from their work toolkit. And that hammer appears in the Mother Road music video, actually.
Oh,
It's
that's
my
awesome.
weapon of choice. Yeah.
So cool. It is Grace Potter. If you're just joining us, I would keep that hammer forever, right?
Oh, I have it. All right. It's not going anywhere. It's sticking with me for sure.
Grace Potter is joining us live from Studio A. Mother Road is her brand new album, and we'll have another pair of tickets to give away after the next two songs that she does for us today.
Did we get a winner on the last round of tickets?
Yes.
Okay, we got a winner. Nice.
got-
Congratulations, whoever won them. I hope you actually show up. Don't just sell them on the internet. You should come. Seriously. That
Selling them
happens.
is not allowed.
Not allowed.
I don't think
I
they're
have
gonna
a lot
sell
of
'em,
people
Grace.
try. A lot of people try. They call me. They're like, "Hey, Grace, I've got extra tickets. What should I do with them?" I'm like, "I don't know. Come to the concert.
Of course.
You won't regret it. I promise."
No. I've seen you several times. It's such a show. Of course, just on guitar this afternoon, but the
Yeah.
full band tonight.
Oh, the whole wham bam thank you ma'am band is going to be there, and it's a really fun lineup of folks. Some new faces and some very familiar faces for folks who've seen me play before. Yeah, this is definitely a real rock show. But right now, it's just me and this here guitar.
We'll take it.
I sure will. This is the story of. This presupposes that as a runaway child, things went very differently. So this starts to wander into fiction, as much of the record does. And this is the story of my runaway self. It's called Little Hitchhiker. She was on her way to find her mama. Everything she owned in a red suitcase. And she followed the road along the river. And she sang to herself when it turned late. She sang, "Ooh, little hitchhiker. Ooh, you're on your way. Ooh, little hitchhiker. You're gonna find what you're looking for someday." She awoke in a field full of flowers near the bend in the old highway. She held her thumb out for hours and hours, but the cars just passed by her day after day, singing, "Ooh, little hitchhiker. Ooh, you're on your way. Ooh, little hitchhiker. You're gonna find what you're looking for someday." Ooh. I remember the night I came upon her. I pulled over and she flashed a sweet smile, and her story sounded strangely familiar. I had that same red suitcase as a child, singing, "Ooh, little hitchhiker. Ooh, you're on your way. Ooh, little hitchhiker. You're gonna find what you're looking for someday." They found a red bag floating in the river.
It's been 30 years and they never found her. Legend goes she still roams these old highways. I guess sometimes Mother Road can't keep you safe.
It's Grace Potter, live from Studio A with Little Hitchhiker. It's on the Mother Road release, the album that just came out October 18th. And there's also vinyl to it, which there's lots to talk about. Secret
the
codes,
vinyl,
all sorts of stuff.
Secret missions and tickets to nowhere, and pop-up concerts at in the middle of ghost tours. And I have a vision for this record that goes beyond music. I'm a storyteller first and foremost, and it's by accident that music ended up being the medium that I get to play in most prominently. But I love art, I love graphic design, and the packaging for this record is particularly me. All you have to do is look at the cover to see that. It's
and that's your actual
yes,
body. Yeah, tell
that's
us
my
about...
body, and it's my graphic design. It's photos that I took all along the
cool.
journey. I love photography as well, so I think that's the piece of this that most people have really connected with, is how cinematic the songs feel. And the reason why is because I started with a movie. I actually refer to Mother Road as an original motion picture soundtrack to an invisible movie, which I am writing now with a team of writers.
Very cool.
But I think there's a bigger story to be told in our hearts. And sometimes if we don't have an image to fasten to something, it's hard to relate to it. But it's also hard when you put a picture next to a song and make it difficult for people to make up their own story. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to sort of turn the songs inside out and have a movie in my head first, and then have the song reflect what I'm seeing. And that's definitely been the best part of this, is how much people really feel the visuals that I'm conjuring, and they're not wrong. Everything they are seeing when they close their eyes and they're listening to the song is very similar to what I'm seeing in my head. So
cool.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like the headlights and the taillights, the on the flip side. So in the front, what's the picture of on the road?
It's my crotch.
No, not that road. No, the picture, like the
You
actual
said
road.
headlights and taillights. I'm like, well, if you want to, yeah. You mean the road image on the cover?
Yes.
That's actually in Gallup, New Mexico. I had pulled over on the side of the road. There was a train going by, and it had like the most beautiful multicolored cars. The flat cars were stacked double, and each one was kind of more pastel and majestic than the other. And I just really wanted to get the video because my son loves trains. And I love taking video and sending it back to my family, especially while I was out there feeling particularly lonely. Mm-hmm. So that's actually a video still, that record cover image, which I then superimposed my crotch onto, just so we're all clear about that. Yes, that is my crotch on the cover. But it's not, it's really meant to, it's meant to be an homage to the many men's crotches we've seen on many rock and roll record covers in the past. I don't know how many.
Loverboy, there's Bruce Springsteen,
exactly.
or the back.
Sticky Fingers, Yeah, sure. So
I love it.
It seemed like it was time to own my place.
And then in the back pocket, you're putting
my liner notes.
The liner notes.
So thank you for pointing that out. You noticed that I'm putting a pamphlet in my pocket on the back of the record cover, but if you open the record and the packaging itself, you find that very pamphlet that I'm putting in my pocket. And it's a tour guide to the Mother Road as seen by me. Awesome. And each song is a postcard. And the postcards they kind of show up like a poster, but you can perforate them and turn them into individual secret messages that you can use and send and take with you.
So creative.
Travels.
That's so much goodness to it,
Thank you.
On top of the music and
well, it's like a
stuff.
passport. The stamps in a passport feel really like you've earned them. I love flipping through a passport.
I know.
Yeah.
Mine got stolen, the first one.
Oh, no.
Such a bummer. I know.
That's not cool.
I know.
Where were you when it got stolen?
seeing a show, Dale Watson back at a station.
Dang it, Dale!
When it was here when it was
Pickpockets.
stolen of all things, because I didn't have my ID for whatever reason. I don't know.
There's something about I think the travel lifestyle that really took on in the mid-century in America. And especially, like, I'm not from the Midwest. I'm from a coast, and so as a coastal, probably sort of formally a colonial type person from Vermont, we there's a real settler feeling to being up in the mountains. But when I first saw a passport and I saw all these images of all these places that looked wildly unfamiliar to me.
So much to see.
Yeah, it made me realize that there was many horizons I needed to conquer.
That's awesome. So
I've been working at it ever since.
It is Grace Potter live from Studio A today. Oh, let's do that second giveaway. I didn't do that, did I?
Some more tips.
I know. I always forget. Everybody's like, yeah, you say that every time, and I do. I always forget. 614-821-9223. Caller number 5. Grace Potter tonight. The full band. And Eddie 9-Volt will open up. And we'll have another pair of tickets to give away. Just a couple more questions before we let her get out of here. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
My pleasure.
Well, this is the third album you've done with Eric Valentine, who's now your husband.
That's my guy, yeah.
And he's also featured on here. Is there an instrument he doesn't play?
He, just like me, we're both multi-instrumentalists,
Yes.
because when you have a home studio, like we have, there's so much to explore there.
So fun.
Not knowing how to play an instrument has never gotten in either of our ways. I think that instruments in general are like an obstacle course that we like to just go through and play. I've learned how to play instruments. He's taken on things like pedal steel, which is very brave. My bravest instrument I ever tried to learn was the bagpipes. But yeah,
Tried
timpani.
or did you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I did. I actually took bagpipe lessons for 2 years in high school. But it's a Vermont thing. I don't know. I can't explain it. But yeah, we both played a lot on this record, but actually. It's in the post-production that we get really exploratory, and I wanted to learn the ocarina, which is a flute-featured, Ecuadorian and Peruvian instrument that kind of looks like a heart that you blow air into, similar to bagpipes. And Eric's big instrument that he took on for this record for the first time was the timpani drums, which are tuned wildly throughout the record, and you hear this really bombastic, very theatrical presentation, and something more ambitious than we've ever tried to do before.
So fun.
And it's just a riot to recreate them. And I think on stage y'all will see there's a whole lot of theatrics going on that definitely spills over into the live tour. It's been really fun.
And
Benmont Tench from the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And it was so funny. There's for Hitchhiker, that the song I just played, the royal we, I guess. He's like, so you want something kind of more Wildflowers or something more like, he's referencing these songs that we've all grown up with. And I was like, can you make it a little more like grindy, kind of like, he goes, oh, you mean like Refugee? And he goes, wah, 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 wah. And it's just how watching pieces of rock and roll history come to life in your living room
your own
in
studio.
Topanga, California. Just there was a lot of laughter and a lot of tears and a lot of joy in the production of this record.
Sure. And I imagine your son has some fun with all those.
He likes my tambourines a little too
instruments,
much.
yeah.
He likes the big loud whistles. He did break 2 ocarinas. Yeah. So ceramic ocarina, it's a ceramic instrument, and he just thought it was so interesting to play with right up until the moment where it smashed on the ground. Yeah.
Well, and congratulations on the birth of your son since the last time we've seen you. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
You're a mother now.
I'm a mama.
Speaking of Mother Road.
Mother Road, that's right.
And Mother Road is the new album. Tell us about what was your first instrument? Was it the
piano?
Piano.
Yeah, my mom was a piano teacher, and all the kids at my school would come after school. And when I say all the kids, there was only 6 kids in my class, and everyone decided to come to my house after school, and my mom would teach everyone piano one at a time. And I was a middle child without much to offer in the household, except that I could play things by ear. So I would listen to what the other kids were learning, and then I would sit down at the piano and try to kind of reconfigure what I had heard them doing from a piece of sheet music. And it was always my own sort of expression of what I was hearing. And it was fun to learn piano that way.
So these days, is it the piano or guitar? Does one come more easily than the other, whether lyrics or the
Oh, that's a
melody?
good question. I think mainly guitar was an instrument that I wanted an obstacle. I wanted something between me and the song so I could make sure that the songs were good. Because I didn't know how to play as many chords. I was well versed in piano, and I could make things as complex or as simple as I wanted. But with guitar, I really did start with just like, as they say in country music, 3 chords and the truth. And so I think bringing a guitar into my idiom was partly to really challenge myself to write the best song I possibly could. Because at that point, I felt like I'd climbed the mountain of piano and bagpipes and flute.
You conquered those, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And, okay, one last thing. I am a lover of cheese, and there was a...
Oh, yeah, baby.
My family, we love cheese. Like, people will come over, you got too much cheese in your fridge. We're
We
like,
have
never.
a lot. No, there's no such thing as too much cheese in your fridge. What are they, crazy?
But there was something you did, I don't know, a decade ago or something
Yes.
about cooking with grace and the
Yes.
cheese, the cheddar cheese.
Well, Cabot cheese.
Cabot cheese.
The Cabot cheese, the base for Cabot cheese is actually about 600 feet from my farm in Vermont. And we bought a dairy farm. And I can't say that we provide any dairy for Cabot cheese. I wish I could. We're not there yet. But yeah, we had the Cabot cheddar cheese bus. We did a cheese tour. And randomly, another wonderful story from the Mother Road, Andrew, our bus driver, that was his first tour ever, was driving the Grace Potter cheese bus. And I think he was traumatized by it. But it took him about a week and a half to actually admit to me that he was the driver. He was like, I'd only ever done Christian rock tours up until then. I didn't know what was happening. But I'll never forget it. That's
seen
for
it all.
sure.
I love there's this humongous, gorgeous looking sandwich, and
Yeah.
you're like, the cheese is the star of the show.
Always. I love that you saw those. Yeah, the cooking with Grace on the bus.
So
Yeah.
cool. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
And again, for taking the time to do this. I know you've been busy on the road with Mother Road. And we'll have another pair of tickets to give away after this song that she takes us out with this afternoon. What's it going to be?
It's going to be the song that sort of became became my anthem, especially during COVID, but mainly because I knew it was going to be on the radio. It just seemed like a radio song the second I wrote it. It's one of those songs that every part of it is a chorus, and it's about traveling, and it's about yearning for something more than what you're actually allowed to have in any given moment. In my case, it was because I had a brand new baby, and I was like, I don't know what to do here. I'm stuck inside the house, but I believe in the disco spirit within me. And so this is a song called Good Time.
Oh, I love it.
I used to drive to Montreal, look up at the departure wall, and buy me a ticket to anywhere I've never been. Look at my planet from above, meet the pilot, maybe make love, touchdown and let that city sweep me off my feet. Take me back to the good times when I drank of life like I drink my wine. Why's it gotta be a window in between me and everything and everyone I wanna see? 'Cause we can't go out, but I still wanna dance. Can't go out, but I still want a chance for love. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, no, I can't go out, but I still wanna sing. Can't go out, but I still wanna bring back love. Oh, oh, oh. There's got to be a way that we can turn this ship around. Ow! 'Cause you can't keep a good time down. Can't keep a good time. Can't keep a good time. Can't keep a good time down. In my dance hall dreams, I'm a benevolent queen. riding on a white horse across a dance floor. I've got flowers in my hair and the sugar in the air. I wanna live my whole life like it's the last night at Studio 55. Baby, take me back to the good times when I drank of life like I drank my wine. Why's there gotta be a window in between me and everything and everyone I wanna see? Cause I can't go out, but I still wanna dance. Can't go out, but I still need a chance for love. Yeah, I know I can't go out, but I still wanna sing. Can't go out, but I still wanna bring back love. Yeah, there's gotta be a way that we can turn this ship around. Cause you can't keep a good time down.